Matson.com and McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
A death presumed to be caused by carbon monoxide poisoning prompts the Guam Fire Department to issue an advisory on proper generator handling and safety. I'm Don Sulet with the details tonight.
And I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the story as Gov Guam is looking to stand up another Tier 2 shelter as the Jigo Gym reaches maximum capacity over the weekend.
Today, 10 sites open up across the island where residents can dispose of vegetation. I'm Jonah Gancharfris, and coming up tonight, what you need to know.
Typhoon recovery updates are brought to you by Burger King, reminding island residents to keep informed and stay safe. IT&E, connections that matter. KFC, it's finger licking good. And SPPC 76 Circle K, take it easy.
Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Thanks for starting your week with us. Well, what was meant to be a tool to help with comfort while waiting for their home to be brought back to island power may have led to the unfortunate passing of residents in a Tamuning home. KUAM's Don Sulat has more.
Generators, a vital equipment used to power homes and appliances by many island residents as they wait for the Guam Power Authority to restore power. However, according to reports sent to KUAM, it appears a generator may have led to the unfortunate passing of a married Tamuning couple on Saturday. This was confirmed by Guam Police Department spokesperson Norman Analista, who stated that a male and female were found in a residence in Charles Torres Street in Tamuning on April 18, 2026. Analista added that the reporting person heard a generator running inside the sealed residence and became concerned and called 911 for assistance, and that Guam Fire Department hazmat were activated and confirmed the presence of carbon monoxide. According to GFD spokesperson Captain Nick Garrido, GFD conducted a wellness check at 3:59 p.m. on Saturday, April 18th, where they found 2 individuals to be unresponsive and classified to be expired via medical control. Eric Robago, a neighbor to the deceased residents, confirmed with KUAM that he saw the aftermath of the wellness check, but was not aware of any reports of his neighbors passing due to suspected mishandling of their generator.
I just saw the caution tape and the cones.
Robago, who also owns a generator, told KUAM that when he initially got the generator, it came with instructions and also did research for safety purposes when contemplating on putting the generator inside his home.
The instruction manual is always pretty wordy, but I remember my parents asking if we should bring it inside the house, and we just, we Googled it, and then it said, I think there was also signs on it, warning signs not to do that, but I remember Googling it, and Googling said that not to leave it inside. I wasn't sure why at the time, but I mean, now I know why not.
Presumably in response to the incident, GFD released a statement on generator safety during post-storm recovery. Those tips are: keep generators outdoors only, watch for carbon monoxide, or CO, allow generators to cool before refueling, store fuel safely, use proper extension cords, do not overload the generator, keep dry and elevated, install battery-operated CO alarms, turn off and let cool before shutting down for the day. As to whether the residents passed due to carbon monoxide poisoning, both GPD and GFD say that this is to be confirmed by the Chief Medical Examiner, with GPD adding that the official cause and manner of death is pending release of the medical examiner's report. To view GFD's statement on generator safety in its entirety, individuals can visit KUAM.com.
Thanks, Don. And in other news, just days after the Jigo Gym opened for residents seeking refuge after their homes were destroyed or damaged from Typhoon Sinlaku, the government of Guam is considering opening up another Tier 2 shelter as the number of residents exceeded the maximum capacity of 300 on Saturday, though it's unclear where or when, with that number fluctuating through the weekend as some return home. Mitsuki Hirayama has more. There may be a need for another Tier 2 shelter after the Jigo Gym exceeded maximum capacity of 300 residents over the weekend, though it was unclear where or when the second shelter will be as of Monday. The number of residents unable to return to a safe home after Typhoon Sinlaku has been fluctuating, according to American Red Cross Guam Executive Director Ken Quintaniza.
The number is gradually changing as people, like I mentioned, people are going back to their homes, requesting to leave, maybe finding family members who they're able to stay with. And yeah, so the numbers have just been changing.
KUAM was not allowed to film inside out of respect to residents, but we saw the gym was filled with families and many children. There were 260 residents at the Tier 2 shelter as of midday Monday, according to Jigo Mayor Francis Lezama. Tumon resident Joseph Camacho is one of them.
Yeah, it's kind of hot up here now. So far, I don't know exactly what's going on, but we've been provided breakfast, lunch, and dinner, accommodations of water, cots, blankets, and a few other things.
GovGuam is eyeing the Ganya Heights Gym and Chalampago Ordot's new multi-purpose emergency center. Site assessments were already conducted, according to Ganya Heights Mayor Richard Arroyo.
We're ready to go, but I believe right now they're going to stand up the Ordot Chalampago center for their Tier 2 shelter, and we're on standby for Ganya Heights.
KUAM checked out the Chalampago Ordot Center, where there was an air-conditioned gym, shower stalls, restrooms, and more. When asked why it was not designated as a Tier 2 shelter in the first place, Quintanilla says the Red Cross is taking the lead from GovGuam.
We rely on the government's expertise and what they approve. So we now have power here, so we're utilizing all of the space and the capacity here, including the restrooms that have and bath showers as well. The porta potties are just part of the additional services for them.
When asked the same question, Adelup Communications Director John Ryan explains a significant number of the sheltered in Jigo are from the north. Staying in Jigo overnight provides them closer proximity to their homes in the daytime to clean. He adds, quote, "It looks almost certain that another Tier 2 shelter will open," though Adelup was unable to confirm a location Monday. Meantime, Quintanilla says the Red Cross is ready to assist.
If and when there is a need for another shelter, we're happy and ready to work with them. We have over 200 members from our national Red Cross teams here on Guam assigned to the operation both for Guam and the CNMI. And we're ready to provide shelter workers, feedings, supplies, resources if needed and if requested by the government.
Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Meantime, the American Red Cross is accepting volunteers and donations to support those affected by Super Typhoon Sinlaku here at home and in the CNMI. For more information, just visit redcross.org or call their Guam number at 671-472-6217. In other news, today marks a week since school's been out for public school students due to Super Typhoon Sinlaku. The Guam Department of Education, now in its assessment phase, will soon tell us how soon students, faculty, and staff will be back in the classroom. Here's more.
How great was Typhoon Sinlaku's impact on Guam Department of Education campuses 3 years after recovering from Typhoon Mawar? That's what education officials are still assessing over the weekend into Monday, as students remain out of the classroom due to a lack of utilities at some schools. Damon Borja, GDOE Public Information Officer, detailing the main criteria for reopening and what has been observed so far.
The main criteria that we are looking at is, one, is there power and water? Because those are the two big things that we need at DOE schools to basically function. Once we've done that, we assess the facilities. Can you inhabit them? Are they safe for the students to come in? Like a roof is not going to fall on a student's head, or they're not going to slip on some puddle of water and get injured.
Borja noting that officials are also inspecting for mold, a dominant issue that plagued schools after Mawar. As KUAM previously reported back in 2023, experts initially estimated mold mitigation to cost the department millions of dollars if growth was recorded in 30% of GDOE's facilities at the time.
With that estimate, they were quoting us about $13 million just to mitigate that.
As the assessment process continues, Borja says GDOE will soon have a better grasp on the dollar amount needed for any necessary repairs or cleanup. This as GDOE officials continue to iron out whether or not students, faculty, and staff will return to the classroom by Tuesday.
I would say about maybe 70 to 80% of the schools are ready to be reopened. There are just some of those schools that were affected a little bit harder than most and are still maybe waiting on water or power issues. But other than that, we might be able to see the schools reopening by either the end of this week or next week.
This case-by-case basis will also inform whether a contingency plan is necessary should some schools require prolonged closures, as makeup days are also currently in discussion. And as of news time, the Guam Department of Education announcing 27 schools are cleared to reopen on Tuesday, April 21st, while 13 campuses are not ready to resume operations until further notice due to lack of water and power. For that full list, head over to KUAM.com. Meantime, GDOE says it is actively working on addressing the issues, completing sanitation efforts, and securing required safety clearances. Students will be provided with learning packets, prompts, and/or virtual instruction during the closure period. Grab-and-go meals will also be available from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at designated school sites. Parents and guardians are encouraged to stay up to date on reopening timelines and site-specific guidance on official GDOE communication channels. In other news, Guam is shifting into recovery mode following Super Typhoon Sinlaku, with the government opening multiple sites to help residents clear storm debris. Jonah Gacharfaris has more.
On Sunday, a primary disaster debris site opened at Oka Point in Tamuning, operating daily from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. The site will accept vegetative debris, construction materials, large appliances, metals, and electronic, but officials are stressing several items will not be accepted. This includes household trash like spoiled foods, hazardous waste like oil, batteries, and chemicals, as well as tires, junk vehicles or parts, compressed gas cylinders, and plumbing fixtures like toilets and sinks. And starting today, April 20th, 10 green waste sites will open across the island for vegetation only, such as trees, limbs, and brush, and open daily from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Those sites include Aston Old Baseball Field, Hoggett Old Bus Satellite Station Parking Lot, Hoggett Old Fire Station, Haganya Aganya Pool Parking Lot, Humatic Mayor's Office, Inalahan next to the fire station, Molesso Baseball Field, Telefofo DYA Cottage Home, and Petey across Our Lady of Assumption Church. Oka Point will also serve as a green waste site, but is the only location accepting mixed disaster debris. Officials are reminding residents to pre-sort their debris before arrival and not to mix trash with green waste, as contamination can delay processing. The Oka Point site is for residential use only, and scavenging is prohibited. Jonah Gacharfaris, KUAM News.
Well, in the wake of Super Typhoon Sinlaku, relief is reaching some of the hardest hit communities in the CNMI, with World Central Kitchen serving up thousands of meals across Saipan. As residents continue to recover, dozens of local volunteers have joined forces with a team of 11 organizers working around the clock to get hot meals into the hands of those who need it most. Mariana's Press's Tomas Manglotnia spoke with one of the organizers leading the effort as this grassroots response quickly scales up to meet the moment. Janice Carrasco reports.
World Central Kitchen is a nonprofit, non-governmental organization that travels around the world wherever they are needed after an onset disaster. Response Director Sam Elfman.
We have 11 of us on the ground, so we're a small but mighty team. Our method is to use people like I think maybe 30 volunteers behind us here at Herman's Bakery to then mobilize. We use local volunteers, and then we also hire locally.
Elfman says they are at 3,000 meals as of today. They are Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda, government organizations on the ground.
How can we get to them and with a hot meal, a bottle of water, and make sure they're fed that day?
They have partnered up with local businesses.
We want to work with more local restaurants, pay them directly, and get those jobs in hands and then meals out, because, for instance, when a sandwich is coming from Herman's, everyone is very excited.
Elfman says right now they are feeding in shelters and doing what they call lat mile delivery.
So pockets of communities that absolutely need the meals.
What she would like to get out.
I hope this brings more attention to the islands, as in a part of the U.S., and then that people are interested to step up, those who are sitting at home, to support the NGOs on the ground to get meals out.
Janice Carrasco, KUAM News.
Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Spring is here, and it's blooming with savings at Kmart Guam. Step into the season with fresh styles for the whole family. Tackle your spring to-do list with tools for every project. Get everything you need to be spring ready. Find it all this season at Kmart Guam.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Welcome back to Primetime. As Guam and the region continue to recover from Super Typhoon Sinlaku, relief efforts are ramping up, with the Salvation Army stepping in to help feed families who need it most.
In the aftermath of devastation, when homes are damaged, power is out, and communities are left picking up the pieces, a hot meal can mean more than just food. It's comfort, it's care, and for many families across Guam and the region, it's a reminder they're not alone. The Salvation Army has activated its emergency disaster services, launching a mass feeding response across the Marianas and Micronesia. Working alongside the American Red Cross, which is managing shelters, the Salvation Army is focused on one mission: making sure no one goes hungry. Volunteers are now being called on to step up, helping pick up food, prepare meals, and distribute them to shelters, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. On Friday, the organization served 275 meals to displaced families across 3 emergency shelters on Guam. In Chuuk, teams provided 128 meals and water at the Salvation Army Corps, and another 75 meals to families sheltering at Chuuk High School. And in Saipan, despite fuel shortages, power outages, and minor storm damage, the soup kitchen is preparing to reopen, ready to serve those still in need. Across the island, the hardest hit communities are those along the coast, while storm surge destroyed homes and in low-lying areas where flooding and poor drainage left streets underwater. Strong winds and saturated ground also toppled trees and power lines, adding to the challenges families now face. But through it all, the Salvation Army, along with government and community partners, continues to show up, ensuring help reaches those who need it most. And as recovery continues, the need for support is only growing, not just for today's meals, but for the long road ahead. If you'd like to volunteer or support relief efforts, the Salvation Army says now is the time to step in and help your community heal.
And continuing our recovery coverage, natural disasters can be very stressful. So anything that can clear the minds and lift the spirits of everyone affected is greatly appreciated. And some friends who always have our backs used food to bring hope to Guamanians at the shelter.
Peter and Brenda Simmons arrived on island as Typhoon Sinlaku swept northward away from our region, and the married couple immediately got to work helping our community. Loading up an SUV with hot meals was the order on this mission for volunteers in the very familiar vests of the American Red Cross.
We're doing feeding at a local shelter that we're operating with. We have a little less than 300 people there, men, women, and children. So we feed them different restaurants. We pick up food from different restaurants and deliver it, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so my husband and I are from Virginia.
The couple were on Harmon Loop Road picking up lunch for shelterees, making their way to the Jigo Gym, where they're detailed at the Tier 2 public shelter. Over the course of each of the first 3 days of recovery, they pick up between 300 to 350 meals a day from Kings.
Well, they're very nice people. They work with us as soon as we bring the food in. Can I help you? Can I help you? They help us unload the car. So they're very easy and nice and to work with.
Oh, the people are wonderful. They're all so appreciative of anything we do out here. They sort of welcome us with open arms. I'm saying nobody complains, even if we're late.
They say despite hardships, frustrations, and a long road ahead for some island neighbors in need, the signature Hafaday spirit shines through.
In the shelter just this morning, we went to the shelter, had a load of breakfasts, and they unloaded all the breakfasts and opened up the packages for
they help
everybody.
Pick up trash. They get the children together to do some chores. We had 129 children out of 298 people.
Sinlaku is Peter and Brenda's second tour of duty on Guam as they rushed out with the support team in 2023 after Typhoon Mawar. Coming from the U.S. East Coast, they're experienced with island culture, and they've been the boots on the ground for similar humanitarian missions.
My husband and I have been doing this for about 10 years now, and we've done a little less than 50 disasters. So we've been to Virgin Islands, and California, and Texas, and Guam twice, and Hawaii. So we go all over.
And with food being social currency for our part of the world, the Red Cross delivers much more than just comforting nourishment. They deliver hope.
The clients, the people that live here.
Remember, it's going to get better. When you get, we see everyone on their worst day, but we know it's going to get better. And there's lots of help. There's lots of help from so many different churches and different departments and agencies.
Army Reserves came by and helped us.
And finally, seeing total strangers going through tough times can take a toll on anybody. So it's the simple kindness that keeps Peter and Brenda going and sharpens their focus and that of the hundreds of Red Cross volunteers helping on Guam to keep up their work and to get the job done.
Well, when people are nice to us. I think when people are nice to say thank you, have a nice day, that keeps us going.
Well, we have a saying here on the island is smiles are free, and you give love and you get love back.
And that's what keeps us going.
Well, the Department of Public Health and Social Services Division of Senior Citizens is adjusting services as recovery continues across Guam following Typhoon Sinlaku. Beginning today, April 20th, adult daycare services will operate at the ADC Dementia Holistic Facility and ADC South. ADC Central Machechi remains without power, with clients temporarily relocated to continue care. Senior centers remain closed at this time and will reopen once power and water are restored. Congregate meal services will shift to grab and go at designated sites for seniors with transportation, while those using Title III services will receive home-delivered meals until normal operations resume. Officials say these adjustments are aimed at ensuring continued access to care and support for Guam's senior community during recovery. The University of Guam will move ahead with its conference on island sustainability following Super Typhoon Sinlaku, highlighting the region's resilience. Organized by the UOG Center for Island Sustainability and Sea Grant, Guam sessions will proceed April 20th to the 24th at the Hyatt Regency Guam, while CNMI events shift to recovery support. This year's conference will focus on climate resilience, sustainable development, and storm recovery, bringing together regional leaders and experts. Governor Lulian Guerrero and UOG leadership say continuing the conference is critical, especially as island communities recover and confront climate impacts. Pre-conference events remain on schedule. Registration is open with special rates for students and educators. Well, there is something new from the SNL universe in theaters. A documentary, Lorne, about Lorne Michaels, SNL's creator. Here's more from the man who took on the challenge of making the film.
Lorne Michaels.
Even those who know Lorne Michaels,
I think he likes to focus on other people,
don't necessarily know Saturday Night Live's creator and driving force.
I guess I don't know what his dad did.
We should ask him. We should meet Lorne. Just talk to him.
He's just Lorne. You can't explain Lorne. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't dare try.
But filmmaker Morgan Neville did.
We're just killing time here. None of this can be used.
With his new documentary, Lorne.
How much of a challenge was it to get him to more or less open up?
Very difficult. It's almost like you're making a nature documentary. And Lorne is a difficult to photograph, rare, endangered animal.
Not that Michaels is endangered. He's created what's evolved into an entertainment juggernaut and has overseen it for most of its 51 years.
He's had a front row seat to fame in a way I don't think anybody else has.
You'll know it's not playing the way Lorne thought it was going to play when he does this.
And it's hard to think of somebody else who essentially picked people who were totally unknown and watched them become incredibly famous right in front of him.
The documentary was originally considered for Neville's 4-part Peacock series, SNL 50 Beyond Saturday Night. But Michaels had input in those and could not for this film.
He's just intimidating because you never know exactly what he's thinking. So, that puts you off balance.
Cameras chronicled the making of SNL during that milestone season.
Watching people work
is not that interesting to me, but it might be to a bigger audience.
And even visited Michaels at his home in Maine.
And that to me was like a breakthrough. I just felt like, oh, this is the Lorne that nobody sees.
How long we'll see the 81-year-old at SNL's helm is an ongoing question.
So, you gonna retire?
I've heard people speculate about things like that for a long time after the 50th and I don't see it. I don't see it coming.
For now, Neville can take pride in Michael's reaction to his film.
When I saw him afterwards, he gave me a smile and a big nod. So for Lorne, that is A+.
Mark Barker, NBC Entertainment.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a look out at the sea with some Spanish-era cannons right behind Adelup.
Everyone has goals. Saying yes helps you get there.
Retirement, huh?
Yes. When is it your turn?
I'm working on it.
And well deserved.
Could I be a truck guy?
Oh yeah, we totally see truck guy.
Can we really do that right now?
Yeah, wild, right?
Can we start that college fund?
Yes. Because yes is so much more than the answer to a question. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 cents with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Mosley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
GU Self Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Klein's hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access. Your safety is our priority. GU Self Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas.
Okay, everybody, here we are with some news bites for you. Here's what's happening around our island community as we continue to keep Tinian, Saipan, and Chook in our thoughts and prayers. Always, everybody. What is happening here on the island? Devil Wears Prada 2. Special screening is coming up. Okay, listen. Every female I know, ages 32 to 51, has been waiting for this movie for a long, long time, all right? All right, for us dudes, this is like blood in, blood out, right? But The Devil Wears Prada. And there's a special screening. It's going to support the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce Scholarship Fund. You can be one of the first people in this hemisphere to watch it and check it out because it's going to be awesome. It's also presented by KUAM Communications and Bank of Guam. We are excited for The Devil Wears Prada 2. All right, what else is coming up? I Requesan Itasi. Make sure to note that it has been postponed, the gate day. We'll let you know when it's going to happen again. Remember, like a lot of the island's events because of Sinlaku, pushed back, not canceled, just postponed. So we'll let you know when it is back on, but keep space open on your calendar, all right? Because you are going to want to check it out. Gate does good. Hey, I'm a former Gate kid myself. One of the best programs I was ever in as a youth. Flavors of Micronesia, right? There are a litany of flavors throughout Micronesia. We're going to show you some, or most, or all of them, again, at some point, because also this has been postponed. It's going to happen on the 16th right now, but you know what that is? That doesn't mean it's pushing it further back. That means you get to work up more of an appetite for the flavors of Micronesia, and we'll see you down there in God's country, in beautiful Talafofo at Valley of the Lati. Now, some birthdays, including a very special member of the KUAM family right here.
Monday, everybody. Happy birthday on this April 20th to Yoonhee Chung. God bless you always, and please enjoy your special day. It says a very, very proud family. Happy birthday number 10 to Riley Mangrobang. Always stay sweet and be a loving child who always cares for her siblings. We hope you enjoy your special day, and we love you always, says your family. See, hey, we got background music. Everybody's celebrating everyone today on this birthday. Happy birthday to MJ, and we love you ever since, from Keith family and the friends. And then one of our sisters, one of our teammates, and not just co-workers, but truly a family member, the one and only Matsuki Hirayama, celebrating a birthday today. Suki, we've been through a lot of stories, and you have turned into an absolutely amazing reporter and anchor person, and we're so blessed to have you here. And we are going to have like a really good potluck lunch for Matsuki, and please stay sweet and keep up all that you do, because you're a really valuable member of our team, and the community appreciates you. Happy birthday, Suki. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
And happy birthday to everyone celebrating out there, and happy birthday to Suki. I hope you have the best day ever. I mean, I'm at a loss for words to describe how much you mean to me as a friend and a coworker. You are my partner in everything that we do, and we are so grateful to have you a part of our team. You are a great reporter and a great person. And coming up next, we also have the interview, and tonight's guest is John Beneventi, the General Manager of the Guam Power Authority. Now, in addition to us giving estimates of when our power will be back on, he will also detail deploying crews to Saipan, this week's annual Power Symposium, and Sinlaku's lasting lessons on Guam's utility agencies.
The new Big Arch sauce is so delicious. You'll wonder if they named the sauce after the burger or the burger after the sauce. The Big Arch, the most McDonald's burger yet. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hafide Guam, I am here in Fidian on back road to Anderson right now with John Beneventi. He is the General Manager of the Guam Power Authority. His crews, the lines crews, everybody out there working really hard to get power service restored. As of Sunday morning, JB, 73% of the island is restored. And first of all, thank you and Sidus Masi to all of your hardworking staff here, like everybody, the communications team, the lines workers, especially the administration and everything. Everybody immediately leapt to get our island back online.
Yeah, and first of all, I'd like to spread a big thank you to the crews and also their families, because these teams have been working now ever since maybe a week before the storm, 12 hours a day, and then of course recently with the recovery effort, they're working 12 to 16 hours a day. Not working after 16 because for safety reasons they have to go home and sleep and come back the next day, but. They've been working out there in conditions of high gusts, and there was a question of, is GPA going to shut down the power? GPA under my watch never shuts down the power. The power system shuts itself down, and our recovery efforts really is determined by the line supervisor out in the field. He's the one that sees the condition as to whether it's safe for the linemen or not.
Right. Now, for that remaining 17%. What can you say to the ratepayers right now? Or, the ones who are saying, when is my neighborhood going to come on, or my street, or 3 blocks down, their lights are on. What about me?
So right now, we of course we have 63 feeders, throughout the island. We have 54 restored as of last night. So we have 9 more that we're really packing to get restored today.
How do you determine what parts of Guam get restored and get energized the fastest? Is it the most densely populated, or the least damaged, or the easiest to access?
We kind of let me go through the process first. Sure. The first process is the first day was actually we didn't recover that much customers. The first day was to go on and repair the transmission line and the substation. So the power plant through the transmission lines bring the power to the substation, which distributes the power. So it's like the main breaker of your house. If that substation is not lit in the middle of Talafofo, nothing would happen. You can go fix whatever you want, right? So our whole goal was to loop, get the entire island substation energized. That way we can go everywhere and immediately start restoration. It didn't matter what village or so and so. And so that's what we did. In the first day, we got 28 out of 29. Today, all substations are restored. Then after that, we concentrate our crews and feeders, and we spread them around the island. Yes, there's some critical areas, the water wells, the hospitals, and even commercial areas like the Mooning and industrial area. We try to go around and get some power in each of the different substations. So at least there's some potential for neighbors and everyone to help itself by having energy at least in their place.
But also the system by design is when power does come back on, even if it's just like spurty or in pockets and everything, ratepayers need to understand that taxing the system early on and everything like that, you want to kind of be judicious and you want to look out for your neighbors, because too many people running it too early, that makes it tougher to get the entire island on the macro level.
That's correct. So again, we're going back and we've been restoring the feeders, So that we have 63 feeders throughout the island. As of this morning, we restored 54. So the last 9 feeders, you know, in Industrial Park, towards Inurahan, Umatic, there's one in Talafopo, there's some here in Paget, and again in Jigo also. So those are the last feeders that we're heading into and restoring. The way it's restored is if we go in the feeder and there's significant damage in the lateral, we will have to lift that lateral and come back later. Otherwise, if we try to repair that, it just delays the recovery for the customers that don't have that much damage on the stream. So our process is after we complete restoring all the feeders, then we get in now and we back up and we start repairing the isolated feeders. And those will happen tomorrow. So those that see us come and go, don't worry, we're coming back, and that's going to happen tomorrow.
That's the word from the man right there.
And the way it works out, I mean, it's been only 2 days since Core 1. We actually started working the day before.
And I think people don't realize that your crews, it doesn't get easier because at the worst weather, they're out there still continuing to work, continue to assess, and continue to fix. And then when the weather gets better and we go back to Core 1, and then everybody goes out in the street and the business is open, you guys are still out there working.
And of course, then there's, then this when...
So you guys are rock stars.
Yeah, well, I like to say those guys out there and their families, they are rock stars. They've done this so many times, and
they're repairs too.
And each storm has a strategy. Mauer had a strategy, huge damage, so we had to even there. If you notice, we recovered. No one was left behind. We provided village by village upgrades, and everyone was coming up at the same time. Here, the strategy is a little different because, again, without transmission and power in the substation, we can't get to others, And so, understanding that we had to fix our transmission and get to the substation, because if the substation is not attended to or heated up soon enough, then what also happens is a lot of humidity gets into the system, and therefore that delays the recovery. So by heating it up right away, getting it there, then we can design our crew, emergency areas we can address, because we'll just go there and fix that feeder and all of that. So that's where we are. And again, we have the last 9 to take care of today. And I'm sure that's not all they're taking care. They're already hitting the large isolated pocket.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Let me ask you one thing though, JB, because you are an engineer and you said the word strategy. How satisfied are you with the performance of the agency with this storm, considering this wasn't like a storm of catastrophic damage? Because you're an engineer, you're always evaluating, you're always assessing, you can always do better. And what did you learn from this? And what has the agency said that what knowledge can you take for this to be better prepared for the next one?
This is not just a tropical storm as much as what has been said. This is more like maybe even a Category 1 storm. And I've been through not hundreds, but it feels like hundreds of storms, right?
We've had super typhoons that have moved fast, and we've had tropical storms that have moved really slow.
That's the point. They move fast, it's not damage, but that's just not as important as when they stay here and they just continually sustain winds and everything. And that breaks. And again, we cannot go out there and just flick the switch, right? We have to go through each process to make sure that the whole circuit is ready to accept our customers. And when we're done that, we're back to normal in that feeder. We don't have to go back and fix anything anymore. So where we are now is they're fixing those laterals, and then we will tomorrow we'll concentrate on that. And then nobody's going to get left behind. Right after that, and there's other crews already that will start going out there and fixing transformer station.
Okay.
No?
Well, there's another beautiful segue because speaking of no one left behind, of course everybody has friends and family up in the CNMI, and you've got many friends up the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation. So have they reached out to you, and are you in the process to maybe deploy some of our resources here up north to help our brothers and sisters up there in Saipan?
Yes, definitely. Even before the storm, we were reaching out to each other. If it hit Guam, the linemen were going to come from CNMI, Saipan, if it will, because again, in Typhoon Mawar here, we had linemen from Saipan, Pohnpei, Palau. And at the same time, let's go back to 2018 when the Typhoon U2 missed Guam and almost just like this and went and really battered Saipan. So we sent our team over there. They were there about 50 employees at that time for 3 months. Yep. We were there. We had our bucket trucks. The Saipan, all the concrete poles that are there came from GPA. My understanding is, I've seen some of the video, those poles are still standing. But there's others, of course, that wooden and everything that has to be addressed. So again, we have concrete poles, we have the bucket trucks, all the equipment. Thank God we're up to close to 35 bucket trucks now. And again, without bucket trucks, we just can't do work, right? So yes, we are preparing. The governor called me this morning, and I informed her that yes, we're in contact, and please let the governor know that the CCU and GPA are committed to do whatever it takes to make it happen. So our advance team was getting ready, and sometime this week they will go over there and make the assessment, and then prepare our linemen, of course, because they should be finishing out. You know, the good news for Guam is probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Everyone pretty much should be back, or 99%. No?
There you go.
So therefore, our team can rest a little bit, and maybe by the following week, we can deploy our people. And again, our teams worked together in the past. They know each other, and of course, no one really knows line work like this than GPA employees.
And if Guam got really hit and it would have avoided CNMI, as JB just said, they would have come down here and definitely worked with us too. So I mean, it's a beautiful relationship. Okay. Interestingly enough, JB, there is a symposium that the agency is participating in, which starts tomorrow. We've got representatives from Department of Energy.
Yep.
Who else?
Our Department of Energy, Department of Interior, and other federal departments, and also we have...
If you're giving the keynote, I'm sure you've got a wonderful speech just on what you've learned in the last 2 days.
Yeah, and we have, you know, federal employees, even military employees here, because really the Power Symposium, although it may have been easier to just cancel it, we decided because there was a lot of people coming, and it's not easy to set with us, but we also have a lot to provide. A lot of technical information as to how renewables run with the system, how do we make the system more reliable. Of course, as you probably heard, I've been pushing to get assistance from the federal government for about $1.5 billion in underground, to underground our systems and all of that. So again, all of this are putting credence to what we're asking. Yes, we can recover in 5 days, but that's, you know, it depends on various storms. We recovered 50 days in Typhoon Mawar, and that was great. That was 50 days compared to several months in Typhoon Ponsona. But the way to get better and better was we need to put more underground line. That's why the hospital, the Anderson Air Force Base, Camp Bluffs, they had, you know, maybe we're interrupted for about an hour, but then they had power right through the storm throughout this period of time. So, so again, there's the symposium, which talks about the renewables. Remember, Ukudu is on? And then we have already contracts for renewables coming on the line all the way through 2029. That will drop our consumption of oil from 3 million barrels a year to about 1.2 million barrels.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Jeep thinks. Making a Jeep vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a Jeep thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a Jeep thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a Jeep thing. So we're bringing you more Jeep things this year, because Jeep things should be everyone's thing.
Imagine, look at what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz and how the cost of oil is impacting Guam. Well, when we get to this point, the impact that they would have on Guam would only be 1/3 of the impact that they have today.
Well, that's the one thing I don't think people realize is that the price of gas at the service stations actually went down right before the storm.
Yeah, and of
or right
course,
after.
production of oil because of the efficiency of Ukudu, more renewables and all of that. The cost of energy, our goal is clean, reliable energy, or affordable energy on a sustained basis. So that's where we're heading, and it's a stone throw away, And again, so part of the symposium also deals with that. That will be part of my presentation, because I think the model we're doing in Guam is really something that other islands or other utilities should model in the best interest of their ratepayers. So, yeah, we can. There's a typhoon coming. First, let me go back. There's the issue of do we have enough oil on the island because of the Strait of Hormuz being there. And then I said yes. And by the way, the next shipment, the April shipment of about 240,000 barrels, is right outside the port here. So that's going to come here, and we'll bring our inventory up to as long as middle of July, and then we'll bring another shipment. So again, don't worry whether we're going to have fuel to run the power plants. Right now that's taken care, and then after that, of course, the typhoon that's come, no, so a lot of things have been happening, but. Yeah, we can't just stay in one, right? Everything is concurrent. So yeah, okay. I'm shifting one hat to the other.
Okay, well, that being said, let's talk about the fact that you are here on GovGuam. You're the 30, 40, 50 man, right?
That's correct.
50 years in the industry, working utilities, 40 years at GPA.
That's correct.
30 as general manager.
That's correct.
Okay, so in that time, how do you assess what this typhoon, what Sinlaku did? Obviously, it was not the most damaging. It is very, very unique. Its personality was very slow moving, destructive winds and everything. And what are some of the typhoons that you've been through and seeing the agency respond and get us back?
Back in the 80s and the 90s, that's who I've been involved in almost significant typhoon, except the period from 93 to 2003. I came back in January 2003, right after Ponsona. We didn't have any materials, inventory, bucket trucks, and anything.
Oh, so you missed Omar, you missed Yuri, you missed... That's right, when I graduated from high school.
Omar.
Oh, you were there? Oh, Omar.
Yeah.
Oh wait, when was it? No,
Yuri,
Omar was 92.
I missed Paca. And all that. No, but believe me, it was for every year I was general manager, I was dealing with 2 or 3 storms. But again, as time goes by, our system gets better and better. Our efforts, and we're stocked up with inventory. Remember, the first thing I said before this storm came is don't worry about inventory. Don't worry about having a transformer, because of course people still remember, I can't get my power because no we have all of that. We hold 15 million in inventory. We have 35 bucket trucks, and by the way, I'm going to 45 because I can't wait for for bucket trucks to be flown in the past. So in this storm, yes, it's not typhoon category 2, 3, or 4. It was certainly a category 1 for us, no. But therefore, the issue here is that we were able to get the team, the strategy of what we need to do to make this recovery, and the system was stronger. And that system is the transmission system, having the main breaker at the house or the village prepared, and then go in systematically, get the most people back as we can, and then follow through with the
How about supporting our community, though, JB? Because the population of Guam is, since the 90s, we're 40, 50,000 more than we used to be way back then. Yeah. Electric vehicles are on the up and up. People are always charging devices. People are moving away from, electricity is more in demand now than ever. There are more efficient ways of doing like electricity. How does that impact like this agency as a service and basically serving a network that continues to expand outward?
Well, good question. I mean, you've seen the military build-up here, right?
Exactly.
They want to go from about 45 megawatt to over 100 megawatt by 2033. John Benavente says, bring it on. Why? The new Kudu power plant is on the line. Why? We have contracted for over 200 megawatts already of renewables with 4-hour energy storage batteries so that we can catch the renewable in the daytime and use it in the evening. That whole combination and everything, by the time we get to 2029, gives us a capacity. And let me go back to this November 2025. We had maybe 320 megawatts of capacity. So we were close to load shedding all the time, right? But with Ukudu and all these renewables coming on, and remember, we have to retire Cabras 1 and 2 because of the US EPA requirement. So even after we take that away and do all that, we're going to have 600 megawatts of capacity by 2029. So all of this build up and everything, not a problem again on the supply side. What we're trying to do is invest in the infrastructure, the transmission system, because if the transmission system is hot to an underground line, most likely some feeders, more people in Guam can enjoy the pleasure of going through a typhoon, even super through a storm. Because remember, Anderson Air Force Base through Typhoon Mauer, 150 miles per hour, was being served by a digital power plant through an underground line. So that should be something that is our goal now. And again, we're transitioning to that. Why? The whole island is about 99% concrete pole or steel structure. That's what we have invested over the years because that's what we could afford. But now we're going to go to underground. And now I'm asking the federal government, because of the man-made threat of China and North Korea, and of course the environment here in Guam, and because Guam protects the nation, as they would like to say, we need help in getting to the level of reliability that I believe, because we're the ones running the system and providing 100% of the energy to everyone, including all of the military.
Why shouldn't we have a world-class electrical system right here on Guam and power generation,
I
and a redundant system and a system that comes back very quickly?
Especially this island has always been said to be very important. So I'm saying, let's see the red penny help us. But be it as it may, if you don't, I'm already asking the CCUS asking the legislature to approve a $300 million bonding so I can borrow some money and start putting certain things, even villages on the ground, making sure we take care of our water wells and all those different things. So with $300 million, I'm going to get a head start because I'm not sure when the federal assistance is going to come, if at all. I mean, my belief that it will come because, again, take a look. They're going to have military personnel outside the base. No, they're trying to get housing and everything. And Jason, look at this island and a map. It's only 212 square miles. I mean, you cannot compare it with the U.S. and Hawaii and everything. This only 212 square miles. So how can you separate the military and everything? And actually, I believe they're seeing that we're not really at odds. It's just, I mean, again, it just takes a lot more convincing and stuff. So I think this storm will help convince.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are just some of the thousands of decisions and thoughts that JB has been having over a very, very long time here at the Guam Power Authority. So thank you for sharing some of your time. I know there's not been a lot of it over the past 3 or 4 days and everything like that, but Biba GPA, and God bless you, and God bless all of the staff here at GPA for getting us back online.
Thank you. And yes, please, positive energy is what our team needs, no? Not negative energy.
That's good. I like that.
Look at their families; they're at home, no? So they're really going all out. And again, kudos to them. And I appreciate it if you keep them in your prayers. No?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, each and every one of you guys, the lines crews, the customer service staff, the people working the phones and everything, the leadership. Thank you, everybody.